Solo Leveling, Episode 2. Let's talk about it. Okay, so Episode 2 of Solo Leveling is now out on Crunchyroll for you guys to go and check out right now. And last week's episode, the first episode, fantastic. Absolutely did everything a first episode should do. Introduce the world, introduce the characters, introduce some of the lore, and then just make us want to visit this world every single week. I've been waiting so long. Feels like forever for Episode 2. And Episode 2 did not disappoint. What Episode 2 does really, really well, in my opinion, is it grabs what Episode 1 did really well. And then just takes you on an absolute roller coaster of a ride. Diving into maybe a little bit more of the lore that we're going to find out later on. Regarding what these statues actually are. Because, man, these statues in this episode, they ain't even here to muck around. I'll tell you that now. They ain't here to muck around. If you've seen the episode, you know exactly what I'm talking about. But they dive into some more lore with gods in this particular episode, which I really enjoyed as well. And we actually got to see Jinwoo showcase how much of a strategic person he really is. How much his mind makes up for the brawn that he doesn't have. So we saw in the first episode how he's the low ranked, the E level. He gets battered bruised. He struggles to beat the monsters, But in this episode, we just see his IQ is above everyone else. He's able to think quickly on his feet. He's able to figure out the scenario that they're in, figure out a solution, try to get everyone alive and safe out of this dungeon that they're in. So that's great character development already for Jinwoo. And this is all about tragedy, this episode. It is about tragedy because these statues, bro, they just go on a rampage, man. It's brutal. And that's what I love. I love how brutal this show is. There's so much blood in this show. I mean, there's that sad moment where the guy that we know, Park, is running and he's like, I got a family. I don't want to die. I need to go see them. And he's standing there with one of the statues behind him. And then next thing you know, this statue just straight down the middle cuts him in half. And he just, blood everywhere. Awesome. Absolutely awesome. Then there's this one guy who thinks he's very cocky. I've got the speed. I can get through. Takes off. No. The statue just laser eyes. Boom. All that's left is his freaking shoes. And it just falls to the ground. It's freaking brutal, man. It is absolutely brutal. There's so much death in this episode. And what I love is we get to see the sheer power that these statues have. Like, these statues aren't just there for the sake of it. And when the statue, when Jinwoo actually figures out the commandments and what he needs to do, and the first one is revere God. So they bow their heads and that. And then the facial expression of this statue changes. Let me tell you, the expression on this statue is so creepy that I absolutely love it. The smile it gets with the big giant teeth. This thing looks sinister. This statue looks like something born from nightmares. So, mate, the animation is just absolute top notch, especially for that shot. When that happens, it looks gorgeous. And it looks like they plucked that straight out of someone's dream, out of their nightmare. Just plucked it out and put it on the screen. It's absolutely phenomenal. The whole entire episode is animated brilliantly. The way that they're able to, animate these characters getting chopped up by these statues is fantastic. There's this one scene where the statue's walking and his foot crushes a person. And it's beautifully shot. It's beautifully animated. And you can feel all of it. You can feel every single thing in this whole entire episode as every character is dying. And then when they get to the stage where Jinwoo figures out how to praise God, it now becomes this race against time. Can we get to these things? And then when he comes to the realization that only one person can go to one of the ones with the instrument, he now must make the dash across the floor to get to the other side, to get to the one that sings. And it's this heart-wrenching moment where you're seeing him go, and as he's going, the big statue's getting closer and closer and closer to him. But then another statue gets him and cuts his freaking leg off, man. Cuts like his foot off. It's insane. So he's there now scraping. And what I like is how they did it is they showcase you that maybe he might die. He might die in this moment because the foot comes down and you're thinking, okay, they've crushed Jinwoo. But they haven't. It's just missed him, and now this thing's going on. But then the middle comes up, the altar comes up, and now it's like, what do we do now? And they showcase you these characters and how much fear is actually going through them at this point in time. None of them want to die, and they come to the realization that the door's open, so they can make a run for it. So some of them make a run for it. They're like, I'm out of here. We're gone. Then there's left with the leader, Jinwoo, and the girl, the healer, that's left. And the healer's leg gives way because she tried to heal Jinwoo. And now it's like, well, someone has to stay behind. Someone has to stay behind while the other two escape. And there's only one option. Jinwoo must stay. And then we get this sequence when the other two go of the statues coming closer and closer and closer. And when they get to Jinwoo, it's like putting... It's basically like going out into the ocean, throwing some chum out there, and then throwing a person into a shark frenzy, feeding frenzy. It's like that. These statues are just absolutely destroying Jinwoo, stabbing him, cutting limbs off left, right, and center, throwing him up. And then he lands on the altar, and then we get this big moment where this axe is about to come down, like this sword's about to come down and absolutely just destroy him. And now we see him, saying like everyone was selfish. They all just left. They all wanted to see their family. I have a family. I'm not ready to die. But then at the same time, he's thinking, at least I'm going to be the only one that dies here now. Everyone else got out. So, he's having this contrast of thoughts. Like, there's selfish people that wanted to die. He wants to be that person. But then also, he wants to sacrifice himself in order for those people to live. It's already fantastic character growth going on here for Jinwoo. But then we get that little message at the end. Your heart is about to stop. Will you accept? Yes or no? And then it clicks yes, and then it ends. I'm so excited for episode 3. I am so excited. I cannot wait to see what is going to happen next. The animation's on point. The music's on point. The writing's on point at the moment. It's just absolutely fantastic. And dude, the opening to this show is quite good as well. I really enjoy watching that opening sequence as well. So yeah, so far, man, they are absolutely nailing solo leveling. And I cannot wait for episode 3. Let me know what you guys think of episode 2. Did you guys love it? Smash down the comment section below. Smash that like button. Click subscribe. And I'll see you guys next video. Until then, stay safe and peace out.